G'day, my name is Steve and you are watching Dude Hack, and today we're talking about some things that you should definitely avoid when you're in your Tinder conversation. So since starting this channel, I've talked about what not to do with your bios, how to go about an opener, touched a little bit on the photos, but the one thing that we are yet to explore is what the hell to do when you're in a Tinder conversation. Look, you've heard me talk about them before, all the fake gurus out there that are going to basically give you all these one-liners or these little opener pickup lines and whatnot. And at the end of the day, that's all they have. The thing is, you can take on board hundreds of these openers and bios and whatnot and just be the smoothest motherfucker ever when it comes to opening things up. But the truth is going to reveal itself if that's all you rely on, and you're boring as fuck when you actually get to the conversation. The fact that most of the attention does fall on how to open up a conversation or how to have a good bio or good photos, that actually gives us an awesome opportunity to stick out from literally the whole rest of the pack when it comes to having really engaging conversations. Now, before we get to the good stuff and I tell you all about how to go about having these engaging Tinder conversations, it's important that we touch on all of the common mistakes a lot of people make. So without any further ado, let's jump into the 5 things that you should definitely avoid when it comes to your Tinder conversation. Number 1, long essays. Look, Tinder should be carefree, easy, fun. When you're going and you're sending this huge, big chunk of text to work through, it just becomes a little bit of a tedious task. What I mean by that is put yourself in her shoes. Yes, it's all well and good if you are having a great flowing conversation, but if she receives this huge, big, long essay to work through every single time, she's probably going to grow to expect it and get sort of tired out by the fact that every single time there is a huge wall of text to work through. Look, if you are having a flowing conversation and things are going well and, you know, she asks you a lot of questions or she's written a big wall of text, go for it. But just really self-reflect. Do not do this every time because she will just grow damn tired of it.
Don't disturb my friend, he's dead tired.
Number 2. Now, I wanted to say this one next because it sort of falls into what we're just talking about, and that is being clingy. Being clingy is just the worst. It's probably one of the most unattractive qualities that you can possess. Tinder has to be chilled and stress-free, and clingy definitely doesn't fall into that category. Let me tell you right now, if you haven't gotten a reply, sending a message after message after message, it's not gonna work, okay? Look, I've done a video before about facing rejection on Tinder. It's something that we're all going to face at some point in our lives. It's better to get used to it now. Trust me, dude, just move on if you haven't got that reply. You have much more dignity than going and sending 20 messages in a row and seeming like an absolute creep. Look, do I really need to explain why being clingy is bad? I mean, let's look at it like this. If you're being this possessive already without even meeting her yet, fuck dude, imagine what you're gonna be like if you're actually dating. Just chill out, please.
I'm only gonna say this one more time, sir. Calm down.
I'm calm!
Number 3, spelling. Now look, I get it. I make mistakes all the time on Tinder. Sometimes I go back, there's some hilarious autocorrects, but I do make sure that I always give it a little skim proofread every single time before I send. The reason being is that there is clear data to show that spelling badly on Tinder is a big no-no. Like I said, I understand if there's some mistakes here and there, that's all good, it's not the end of the world. But do not, for the life of me, do not go and use shitty NetSpeak. As I'm going to pop up on this cute little graph here, you can see that some of the worst words to use when talking on Tinder are all these slang misspelled words like your and whatever's written there. Don't do it. Look, number one, intelligence is attractive to a lot of people. But number two, more importantly in my opinion, it just shows that you haven't really taken the time to care, to go back over your message, have a little bit of a skim read, and then see if there's a clear mistake. Just take that extra little bit of time.
Seconds, minutes, hours. I keep time. And that time is in the wrong hands.
Number four, go overboard with your emojis. Now this is always one that's up for debate. Should you use emojis? Shouldn't you? How many should you use? What emojis should you use? I'm here to tell you a little bit's okay. I'll use an emoji here and there. Now I'm talking, God, every 2-3 lines. Something that I'll generally do is just sort of get a little bit of a gauge of how many my match is using. Now, yes, I will be myself every time and stick to what I do. Sometimes I'll change it up a little bit match to match. If she's not using any emojis, I don't know, I'll sort of hold back, and if she's using heaps, I'll maybe use 1 or 2 extra. The thing is, don't go overboard with it. Don't go full on. There's a lot of people out there that apparently use emojis to tell, you know, little stories, or they chuck on 3 at the end of every line. Just tone it down. You can use some, but just not a lot. Okay? Just calm down.
Just a little bit.
And number 5, last but not least, just don't be boring. As I've said in other videos before, these women you're talking to, look, they are talking to other guys. They are getting more matches than you on average. So you need to try your best to separate yourself from that pack. Now look, there's unfortunately not a sort of easy fix, one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to not being boring. All I strongly urge you to do is just take risks. Don't be the boring dude fucking talking about the weather. Go ahead and chuck something random out there. Talk about something super left field. I think you'll be surprised. Now keep your eyes peeled, because I definitely want to do more of a video on exactly how to go about having engaging conversations. The Tinder conversation is probably the hardest part. You've got, like I said, you've got to know over all these hurdles in, you know, your opener, having a witty bio, having decent photos, and now you're actually in it. Just with a little bit of extra care, you can make sure that you're not making some of these mistakes and having good, engaging conversations. I know a lot of you guys out there will think that this is simple and you're not making these mistakes, but you will be so surprised how many are, and how many are making them without even realizing. So do some self-reflecting. Ask yourself, shit, am I sending 1 too many emojis? My text message is a little bit too long. Do that self-reflecting, and sometimes you'll be surprised. So that wraps it up there, guys. Those are 5 things that you should definitely avoid. Anyone should avoid when it comes to talking on Tinder. Now, before I go ahead and say goodbye, the one thing that I want to put out to you guys is the fact that I want this to be a community with you guys. So I know that this video is on this one topic, but if you do have any other questions around Tinder, online dating, relationships, confidence, whatever it is, and you want to ask me but you don't feel it relates to this video, don't stress. Pop it down in the comments. I definitely want to help every single one of you out as much as possible. So guys, that wraps it up there. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you haven't, well, fuck, that sucks. If you have, cool. Guys, until next time, I shall see you later.